What's poppin' T Squad? It's me, Keisha, and I am back with a brand new All Tea All Shade Raising Kanan Season 1 Episode 4 review. I didn't do an episode review last week because I was finishing up the boxes, my birthday boxes. I had to get them all packaged and shipped out. And then also to me, last week's episode was a little on the boring side. It was dialogue heavy. It really wasn't a lot of action going on. So yeah, that was the reason why I didn't do a review last week, but I'm back. So on tonight's episode, Neek and his mans are chasing after his boy Trey G. They have been friends since they was little. They played Little League together. They grew up in the same building. They are homeboys. But some shit has gone awry between them two. So Neek finally catches up to the nigga. And they then take him back to their little spot and beat his ass. They got him sitting in a chair, bloodied and battered and bruised. And Trey G was like, you know, we was set up. Neek was like, you was getting high on my time while you was watching my shit. Trey G was like, that ain't me. And he was like, it's not you, but the crackhead you turned into. So Neek tell his man, you know, why apply his ear or whatever, dude screaming and hollering or whatever. Neek was like, you know, you was my fucking heart, man. And Trey was like, you know, I ain't said shit to nobody, like, dude, like, I love you, like, you my boy or whatever. Neek got his back to him, and then he turned around and shoot him in the head and was like, I love you too. And it was like very hard for him to kill his partner, but what other choice did he really have? I really feel like Joey Badass is doing a wonderful job playing this role. He is so fine, and he just gives you that quintessential, like, New York drug dealer, like, especially from back, like, he reminds me of Supreme, the drug dealer Supreme, like, even though I never met this man, I don't think I ever even heard him speak, but he just gives me Supreme vibes. But I think he's gonna get killed in either next episode or the episode after that. Neek will die. So, Kanan is in the kitchen thinking he got Fieri and some shit, making spaghetti for his mama and him for dinner. But to his surprise, mama bring home her man Tiffany because mama gotta have a life too. So he of course is not happy about this because it was their time together and he not used to seeing his mama really with nobody. So Tiffany tries talking to him while they're sitting down at the table, but he ignores him. He just not feeling this nigga at all. So Rocky was like, says that she forgot it was her night to eat with Kanan, you know, because he cooks for her once a week. And Tiffany was like, oh shit, you know, my bad, like, I won't, you know, make sure this ever happens again. And Kanan was like, she knew what the fuck she was doing. Like, she's trying to get us together so I can get to know you. Like, he feels like she's pushing him on to him or whatever, and he just ain't feeling it. He, you know, he's overprotective of his mama. He used to it just being them too, much like me and my goddamn child. So then we switch to, but you know what, I think that Tiffany and Kanan are going to end up being very close, and that they're really going to build like a father-son relationship with each other. I really feel like Symphony is going to be the good person that gets sucked into their life, and it's going to bleed over into his, you know, very, you know, steady, quiet life, and that drug world is going to bleed over into his calm life, and shit is going to get fucked up. So we then see Jukebox at fake ass Madonna house. They watching a little video of them at the mall singing a la very Mary J. Blige and how Mary J. Blige got her record deal. Little fake ass Madonna hyping her up about she gonna be the next superstar. They wrestling on the bed and shit, and then they making so much noise that little fake ass Madonna mama come upstairs and they hurry up and, you know, move apart from each other because, you know, being gay is a sin. So the mama see the tape of Jukebox singing, was like, oh girl, you can sing, this, that, and the third. The daddy didn't come up there and was like, oh, this better than the shit we hear on the radio. And the mama was like, watch your mouth. And he was like, I'm pretty sure she's heard worse from where she from, or some slick shit like that. And Jukebox was like, yeah. So, you know, it's like the family is literally one of those family where, oh, we have black friends, but then are still low-key racist and look down on black people and kind of feel like they're charity. Child cheese. So the parents leave the room and Jukebox says to fake ass Madonna, your parents are cool. And she was like, yeah, about some things, but not everything. So I took that as her saying like they cool with you being friends with a black girl, but you better not never date one, or they don't agree with her being gay or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It's like the parents, they shit with them. So we then see Marvin and Tony giving us Cinemax after dark sex. Girl, the way she was humping on him, I was like, you got crabs or something? Like she was it was very weird. I was like, ew. So after sex, she asked him, do he want some blow? And he was like, no, I don't do that shit. So she then tries to cuddle with him. He was looking at her like, what the fuck is you doing? She was like, cuddling. He was like, I thought you said you fuck with niggas. Like, black men don't fucking cuddle. And she was like, well, the ones I do, fuck with, do. And so he was like, like, this ain't even what we own. I ain't on that type of time. And he get up to leave. But all I got to say is I was just peeping Marvin's body, yada, 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 because his body was giving me everything that needed to be given. Yes, ma'am. The abs, the pecs, the arms, everything was on point. So she's shocked that he's getting up to go just because she wanted to cuddle. And she was like, I don't want things to end this way. He was like, in what way? Like, we ain't never began. Like, we just fucking. Like, you tripping. I was like, that's what you get for fucking that white girl. You should have been over here, my bad. So, he did peep that she ain't fed the dog he gave her. And he was like, you ain't fed him all day, but you ate. And he was like, yeah, nah, you ain't about to do that. Like, nah. So he takes the dog back. And she was like, I can't believe he acting like this. And I was like, well, bitch, how you just go not feed a dog for a whole motherfucking 24 hours? Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? So I was like, I hope he stop fucking with her ass because I don't trust her no way. So Neek learns that he made his connect nervous, and now things are getting put on pause on the re-up until the cops show their hand because they don't know what's going to happen next. So one of his men was like, we ain't got enough to last us through the week. So then his boy Pee Wee was like, the cop played the shit out of us talking about Omar Epps' character Howard. He was like, killed us. Neek was like, Trey sucking that glass dick is what killed us. This ain't about no Howard. I don't trust that nigga. I don't trust nobody. Any one of y'all can end up like Trey. Mind you, he got dude hemmed up. So he let dude go. He was like, load them corners up and step hard with what we got. Pee Wee was like, ain't no crackhead gonna fuck with us later if we putting out garbage now. So Neek was like, that's why we gonna put them on orange caps, new batch. When we all the way up again, we gonna pull out them tornado testers, pink caps, put niggas on their backs and shit. But now stomp on that shit. Stomp on that shit means stretch it. So dude was like, it's already stretched. Neek was like, well, stretch it in some more, motherfucker. That nigga was mad. So he was like, Rock got her stink all over this. Like, I could smell it from here. He was like, we gonna hit back though. I just gotta figure out if it's gonna be to the body or to the head. And once again, Joey Badass killed that scene. I loved it. We then go back to Rock and Kanan house, and Kanan cleaned up the dishes, and Rock tells him that she ain't gonna ask for forgiveness for seeing no man. Like, I understand you got feelings and all, but at the end of the day, I'm the parent here, and mama gotta have a life too, and just because I had you don't mean my life has to stop. Like, no, sir. So he was like, you didn't give me an apology no way. She was like, you ain't gonna get one. Like, sir, you are not my nigga. Like, what the fuck? So she brings up him not turning in his homework, and so she was like, you off the stash house. So he thinking that he got a promotion, and she was like, oh no, little nigga, you're now gonna go to a tutor after school because you ain't been doing your work. So he looking like, are you fucking kidding me? Because he just itching to get put on, but he keep on fucking up, and she keep on shooting his ass down, which is good because she's teaching him life lessons, even though she's trying to put her son onto the dope game. But she's teaching him that you can't shortcut shit. So Famous in the studio trying to be the next big pun, while his sister Jessica hoe ass is out in the other side of the studio listening to him rhyme with Crown, played by Quincy Combs. So Crown tells him that his rhyme was kind of corny, but he like one of the lines, he was like, ain't nobody gonna be believing in no high school ass kids shooting at no goddamn Fed. Like, come on, make it believable. So his sister like, shit, like, okay, let him fuck this shit up. I'm trying to get out the hood. So Jessica tries to big him up to Crown, and Crown tells her that he got a showcase coming up, and if he put them on to these industry peoples, that mean that they gonna have to spend more time with each other. And so she was like, okay. Her whole ass up here cheating on my nigga Lulu, which is like my baby daddy for real, for real. I love him. Like, oh, he is my favorite character by far on this show. when and if he dies, baby, I'm going to have a fit because I live for Lulu. Best character overall on this show. I love the actor who's playing him and his subtle nuances, and it's like he's a man of mystery. He has this cold-hearted, cold-blooded side, but then you also see that he has a really big heart for people, and he has dreams outside of this hood shit. It's so many different facets to him. I love it. So little does she know that Lulu pops up on her ass and sees them all chummy and hugging and shit. So he looking like, the fuck? And I was like, see, you and your brother over here fucking with these others when you need you a sister, okay? So he stepped into the studio and she was like, oh, hi, babe, or whatever, with her fake ass Jenny from the block having ass. So, he tells her to come holler at him outside, and he throws Crown a bag of cocaine. And I was like, is Crown a cocaine head, or does he try to like supply other people? Because I'm like, girl, I know you ain't trying to dig down no cokehead. Okay. All right. So they head outside, and Lulu was like, what you doing here? And she was like, business. And I was like, who you talking to like that? Don't talk to my nigga like that. So Lulu was like, what happened to you saying I should be the one doing famous music? Like, you on Crown time? And she was like, no, I'm on my time. You can do whatever you want, but you got to do it for yourself. And she give him a little kiss on the cheek, and she goes to walk back inside. And he grabs her back real forcefully. And I just felt it all through my chest and my clavicle and my clitoris. And he give her a big ass kiss on the lips or whatever. And I was like, nigga, you too fine for a little fake ass J-Lo anyway. Fuck her. I want to see Lulu with a black woman. I'm tired of all these others, these Puerto Ricans. Like, can we please get some black love representation in these Power series, people? I mean, I love the diversity, but please, can we get one couple that is black together? I mean, we got Rock and Symphony, but that nigga light skinned. Jokes. But yeah, I love Lulu. To me, he's really the most intriguing character to me on this show. So Rock has a 14 gauge reinforced steel door with deadbolts placed in the back of the bodega. Marvin and Lulu arrive, and she tells the Spanish guy that owned the bodega that Marvin is going to oversee the movement and storage of their product and cash. The owner was like, well, I need to know how much drugs and money going to be here because it's my store. She was like, no, motherfucker, this is my place of business. Now, stay out of my motherfucking way and out my business. Meanwhile, his wife over there looking like, it's a woman talking to my husband like this, let alone a black woman talking to my husband like this. Like, little does anybody know, but her seeing Rock on her black woman boss empowerment shit is giving her the courage that she's gonna finally need to step up to her husband and put that nigga in his place or probably kill his ass. And I predict that her and Rock are gonna end up working together, being cool or whatever, and they're gonna be on like some Bonnie and Clyde type shit together. I see you. So Kanan and Davina walking home together after school or either before school, one of them times. It had been after school because Davina was walking her little sister in the stroller. And they talking about Rock dating Symphony or whatever and how he don't really like it. And she tells him, you know, you should want your mom to be happy because at least your mama care. My mama don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here being a teen mom to a baby that ain't even mine. So he kisses her goodbye so he can head to the tutoring thing. So he steps off. Little does he know that Neek and his man been peeping him the whole time. So Neek pull up on Davina and tells her that he know her mom is down bad, but that he can help her get clean and send her to rehab if she look out for him like she looked out for Buck. Because, you know, Buck was his man. So Davina looking like, fuck, like, cause she really want her mama to get off drugs, but she, you know, she want to protect Kanan. And he asked her what she and Kanan talk about. And she was like, you know, he ain't involved in none of his mama's shit. And he was like, you know, the dude that supposedly killed Buck, G Wiz is his man. So she was like, yeah, we talked about that. He said he don't know nothing about what G Wiz did. So of course it's gonna come a point where Davina gonna end up finding out what the fuck he did. And I feel like Davina's gonna end up getting killed. Because maybe she gonna try to say she gonna tell or some shit. But I feel like that's gonna be the reason why him and Davina never ended up together in the long run, is because she finds out what he did and turns on him and he gonna end up having to kill her. Maybe she's gonna be like his first kill. I know he played a part in G Wiz now, but like maybe she's gonna be the one that he pulls the trigger on himself and be the trigger man for, and that could be the first thing that really like gives him that cold-blooded nature that we saw in Power, where you know he's able to kill somebody that he fucked with and love. So where was I at? So she asked Neek what she got to do to get her mom clean. And he was like, a little love in return. That's all I need for you. Show me love and I got you. So Davina was like, you know, nothing happens to Kanan. But of course, something happens to Kanan. So Neek was like, on my own kid. So Davina was like, I saw Kanan outside this house one time. And Neek was like, where at? So then he also, Kanan gonna find out that she was the one that snitched and told old boy where the stash house was. So he gonna realize you can't trust these hoes. These hoes ain't loyal type shit. So Famous and Kanan and Juke at the pizza joint, and Famous telling them how he about to be put on by Crown and do the showcase, and how Lulu know him, and how he can probably help Jukebox get put on too, and she get mad and leave. And he was like, what I do? Kanan was like, nigga, she been boosted for months to get a demo, and her you just stumble into one, like the fuck. And then of course her uncle was connected to the shit, so it's even more like a slap in the face. So Marvin, and of course, Famous gonna end up dying as well. I predict that Famous is gonna end up dying, and that's because remember, Famous real name is Sean. He's gonna end up dying in the midst of all of this shit that's going on with Neek and Rock, and get caught up in that shit. And I feel like that's the reason why later on, when Kanan gets his baby mama pregnant, that's why he names his son Sean after Famous, his best friend. So I think that Famous is gonna probably die episode 5. Probably. Yeah, probably next episode he's gonna die. So right now my death count is Famous, Neek, Davina, the bodega husband. Yeah, that's where we're at with my death toll right now. So Marvin goes to Scrap House so they can move the product from the stash house to the bodega, but Scrap got diarrhea and can't go. He was like, you have to do this shit on your own, nigga. I'm on the toilet. So Marvin pulls up on Kanan to have him help him. Kanan was like, you know, my mama told me I can't even fuck with the stash house. I got to get to this tutor. And Marvin was like, she ain't got to know. She ain't going to know. So Kanan gets in the car to go with him. And I was like, here we go with the bullshit. So Rock talks to a building manager in the projects about needing 2 apartments on top of the other. At first, he's hesitant, but she pays him off and he agrees. So Juke confronts her Uncle Lulu about getting Famous studio time. And he was like, you know, it was his sister who got him studio time, not me. Juke was like, but you can do it though. Like, you can ask a favor. And he was like, no, you don't ask nobody for no motherfucking favor. And plus, I got too many favors out anyway. So she was like, you turned into my daddy, good for nothing. Lulu was like, you would give, I would give you the money, but Marvin would lose his mind. She was like, you know, all right, whatever. So she gets up to leave, and he was like, eat, like, make sure you eating or whatever. And you just really saw a softer side to Lulu in that scene, and saw that he really does care about his nieces and nephews, and he cares about their well-being and everything like that. From what I peeped with the Marvin and Jukebox situation, I think that I want to know, A, where's her mother? Where is she at? It's obvious that he's raising her on his own. I feel like he's one of those fathers that, of course, is just so street and so hood. He doesn't know how to be affectionate or loving towards anyone. You see that he didn't even want to cuddle with the white girl. So it's obvious that he has issues with, you know, being vulnerable and showing emotion. And it seems like he raised Jukebox like a nigga, pretty much. He treated her like a boy or whatever. He doesn't believe in her dreams of being a singer. He doesn't support that, and obviously when he finds out she's gay, he's going to have a problem with that too. I just think it's a situation where he just doesn't know how to be a parent. Maybe he's harboring resentment for her mom not being there. You know, maybe it's hard to look at her because she looks so much like the mother. I can't wait till they delve more into that, but I think that's the just position of their fucked up relationship. So Juke then goes to the payphone and call her B&E friends about pulling another lick, but ain't none of them down. So she pissed off, was like, fuck y'all. So Marvin and Kanan pull up to the stash house, not knowing that Nick and his man are up the street watching it. Juke does the job solo and steals a polo coat off the truck, and she thinks that she got away after running from the guards. But little does she know, as she's walking up the street, she gets hemmed up by this male security guard, and dude was like, "I know you." And so we find out that he's the guy that the last time they pulled the lick, remember one of the dudes was beating his ass and was like beating him to the point he was about to kill him, and Jukebox stopped him. So when the dude realized it was her that saved him, he was like, look, I'm gonna let you go this time, but if I see your ass around her again, I'm not going to let you go, or whatever. So she ends up being let go with the little coat or whatever, with the polo coat. So I was like, ooh, girl, you better be happy you did a good deed. So Marvin and Kanan are in the basement getting the stash, and Kanan was like, where's Scrappy at? So Marvin was like, he at home with diarrhea. So at this point, I'm like, okay, so they gonna think that Scrap played a part in them getting jacked, and they gonna kill him. So now let's add Scrap to the death toll, because he gonna end up getting killed, because they gonna think that his ass was working with the ops. Because it would look suspicious to me the day we about to do this switch off, you all of a sudden saying that your ass got diarrhea. Okay, and how these niggas know where the fuck was the stash spot? Okay, they not gonna even think of no Davina at all. So Nick peeps them putting the stuff in the trunk, and was like, oh yeah, we about to run down on these niggas. So Marvin tells Kanan to keep boxing up. He'll be back in 20 minutes, because he takes some of the stash over to the bodega. Was like, I'll be back, don't answer the door for nobody. And I was like, oh child, here we go. So Juke ends up giving the jacket to fake ass Madonna, and says that she was right about her boosting, like basically she gonna stop or whatever, and she want her to wear the coat and think about her all the time, blah, blah, blah. So then little Cindy Lauper then take her virginity, child. And I was like, here we go with the foolishness. So Kanan at the crib, taking the boxes upstairs, when 3 dudes shoot the door open and hit him in the stomach with like a 12-gauge shotgun or some shit. So Marvin at the bodega transporting product and money, and then he heads back to the stash house. One of the goons say to Kanan, who's down on his knees, where your man take the rest? And he was like, I don't know, they don't tell me shit. The dude was like, you don't think I know who you are? I know you was there when Buck got hit. I should cap you for that shit alone. So Kanan's scared like a motherfucker, because he like, oh shit. So Marvin pulls up the back way on some G shit, being smart, you know what I'm saying, and see they being robbed. He was like, these niggas, what the fuck? He pulled his little lollipop out his mouth, and then he put his foot on the gas, and then he rammed his Mercedes into the back of the open van. I thought that the dude was standing there, and when he smashed the car into the van, that he smashed into the dude and like killed him or whatever. But dude was able to jump into the van, so he didn't end up getting fucked up. That would have been great though. So Marvin pulled out his pistol and started shooting through the window. The dude ended up shooting back with the gauge. The driver ended up pulling off, and they got away with the product. So he jumped out the whip. He like, this some bullshit. So then he goes up the steps, running to the house, and sees Kanan on the floor being held at gunpoint by this little dude. So he was like, you know who kid this is? And the dude was like, who? And right when he's distracted, Marvin then shoots the dude right here in the center of his chest. Dude fall on the ground, get the gurgling and convulsing and shit. And Marvin then shoot the dude in the head, and all his blood matter and splatter and cranium juice and everything gets splattered on to Kanan, who then turns over and pukes his gut out. And so Marvin says that they ain't gonna tell Rock. We're gonna keep this between ourselves. And I was like, y'all just steady digging a hole for y'all when it comes to Rock. So we then see Kanan going home, and Rock is waiting on him so she can take him to his tutoring class. And she was like, hurry up. He was like, all right, just give me a minute. So he run upstairs and take his shirt off, which is covered in blood, and he just throws it underneath the bed. I would think that he would change his pants too, but he didn't change his pants. He just changed his shirt. So then we see them in the car, and she's going to drop him off, and she was like, look, let me talk to you real quick. And she was like, I know you don't like Symphony. He was like, I will. He was like, dude just seemed different. And she was like, well, maybe different ain't bad. Just give him a chance. No one will ever be more important to me than you. It's us against everybody. And I really love their bond, because it reminds me a lot of Kyrie's, because we came up together, it's just been us. So he then heads inside the building. He goes to the class and finds out that none other than Symphony is going to be his tutor. So he looking like, what the hell? And I think that him being tutored by him in that class is what's going to bring them closer together. We then see back at the crib, Rock is going through Kanan's room, picking up all his dirty laundry to clean. And she sees his socks on the floor, and she bends down and she sees one of his shirts under the bed. It's the shirt that is bloody. She pulls it out and see it covered in blood. And she just stands there like, what the fuck has happened? And what in the hell is he keeping away from me? And the episode goes off. This week's episode was much better than last week's episode, which I said was very boring. Overall, I give this week's episode, I give it a B plus. I'll give it a B plus. It was a lot of setup in this episode for future drama, which I liked. But episode 5, I even remember 50 making a post about, like, y'all really gonna see why this is one of the best shows on television by the time we get to episode 5. So next week shit is about to go down. I think on next week's episode, Famous is gonna die, Scrap is gonna die on next week's episode, and I think after that we'll see Meek die, Davina die. Famous is gonna die. Oh, Famous probably gonna die on next week's episode too as well. It's gonna be a bloodbath, I believe, next week. Let me know what you guys think about tonight's episode down below in the comment section. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button. I love you guys, and I will see you on the next review. Bye.